Hello everybody and welcome to today's episode of Leadnap Gaming. Today we're in Star Citizen and patch 3.5 has gone live, so that's what we're here to talk about today. We're going to cover a couple of changes that have gone on for everybody, and then I'm going to take a little bit of time to kind of go through server resets for newer players that have never been through a new patch, just to kind of bring them up to speed on everything that kind of takes place. So without much further ado, let's jump into it. As always, jump into the universe. At this point, your character creation screen should come up, as you see here. I've already covered in a video, so if you go up to the cards, you can go ahead and watch that. It's more of a critique of this system, but it does cover how to actually manipulate and use stuff in here. So go ahead and check that out. But what we really want to do is kind of jump right in. So you'll come back to this screen, and just like in 3.4, we'll jump into the Stanton system and get going. So, once you get into the verse, you're going to be in bed, and that's where you're going to notice really the first change, which is H is no longer the default exit key. So now you need to press Y to get out of bed. If you take nothing else from this video, that's what you should walk away with. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in bed, and a lot of people are getting stuck, and they can't figure that part out. So, press Y to exit. H is no longer the default exit key. So, really, let's quickly run over 3.5, right? We got the new flight model, we got ArcCorp, we got some network improvements, a new mission giver, all great stuff. As far as stuff everyone really needs to know, probably how to get out of bed. If you didn't pay attention to anything in the PTU, that's worth knowing. So, like I said in the introduction, what I want to do now is just kind of cover some stuff as far as patch server resets go, just for newer players where this is probably the first time you've ever done that. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my Moby Glass, which is still F1, and you're going to notice my current balance has gone back to 10,000. Now, you might have a little bit of a different number there depending on different perks and stuff you have, but I had over 1 million credits on 3.4. The server's reset, so you are back where you were when you first started playing Star Citizen. So, for example, I only have 10,000 credits. If I come over here to my equipment manager, right, I only have the undersuits that are actually attached to my account. So weapons is probably a better example, like, right, so like I own as a subscriber benefit this sniper rifle, but all my assault rifles are gone, right? The same thing is kind of true here, right? Like, yeah, we have the different kind of pistols and stuff that, again, I have as different parts of member benefits, but those are all gone. So just click save and equip there just so that we can get out of that. Head out of our room and get downstairs. I would pick the furthest possible route, wouldn't I? And then from here we're going to notice again on our ships. So I still have all these different ships that are a part of my account, but you might notice now that if you own one of the Reliant variants, those have been released in this patch, so you no longer have the Reliant that we all had as a loaner ship. But with that said, you know, this is all still pretty much the same and straightforward. I bring this up because if you had purchased a Nox or a Grey Cat or a ship, like a Prospector, in 3.4 in-game, you'll now notice it's gone. So when you buy ships and stuff like that in-game, you don't keep those on resets. So just like your money resets to day 1, or I guess day 0, right, everything in your account goes back to that very first setting. Now, obviously, when I bought the game and played for the first time, I didn't have all these ships. So it gives you kind of an idea that as you add things to your account, your day zeros will get easier and easier, especially as you play more and you realize how to make money quickly and stuff like that. The way I like to do it is obviously through package missions, and what helps is if you kind of do, like, so you can see here, I've got these bigger ones. Sometimes these reset and sometimes they don't. So it would appear that they either changed the rules for how these work with 3.5 coming out, especially because, mind you, like you can see here, like these were added because these involve ArcCorp with Lyria. So, you know, you do like 5 or 6 of these that net you some real cash, and then from there, it's all Jump Town. So, that's kind of that part. You're going to see everyone running around in their default armor until everyone kind of gets started here if you're jumping on in the next day. But you'll be impressed how quickly people get stuff up. So the kind of last big thing to talk about, right, what else got added? We have the new flight model. If you check out the cards or the description below, you can see the tutorial video I put together for that covers all the different changes to flight model and just some kind of basics to understanding it. The other big change, obviously, ArcCorp was always out here, but ArcCorp has now been added to the game. So in the same way that like Microtech is out here, but there's nothing here except its planet, it's not really in the game yet. ArcCorp, you'll notice now we have all of like ArcL5, ArcL3, we have new R&Rs spread throughout, and we also now have ArcCorp over here, which includes the moons Lyria and Walla. So these were added, awesome new stuff to go check out there. The other thing worth going to check out is still back on Hurston here. Go to your home. And that is, and I'm not going to take the time to fly you out, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly tell you about it. But Lorville, the business district, has been added as well. So there's new stuff in Lorville to go check out. Recommend you go do it. Enjoy playing around with the flight model. And let me know down in the comments. Let's talk about what are you most excited about with 3.5 coming out, especially for those of you that don't do PTU stuff and are now just seeing it for the first time. The other thing worth bringing up really quickly before I drop out here is for people that have not been through these yet, the PTU is still going. There are going to continue to be updates to the system, so we may, the first month after a new patch, the servers can be really buggy, things are kind of weird, you just got to kind of learn to play around them. That's all part of being part of an alpha. But with that said, 3.5's dropped. Let's talk about it down in the comments. What are you most excited about, or what's your favorite thing that you've seen so far? I asked partly because it gives me something to go look and do. I actually have yet to go to ArcCorp. I never did it in the PTU. Intentionally, I wanted to wait for this to drop into live to go do it. So let me know what are your favorite things at ArcCorp. As always, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will catch you all next time.